So, they don't want you to be able to vote on these things. They don't want you to have the information. They don't want you to have any control over what the laws of the land are. And in addition to that, they also just want to rewrite the entire system until it's totally in their favor. We had an op-ed from Ben Carrito. I think Carrito is how you say his name.
Looks correct.
I apologize, Benny, if I said your name wrong there. Didn't mean any insult. Why don't you walk us through that? What he basically said in his op-ed, Grant.
So his op-ed is pretty much talking about the potential backlash that we could see from Biden and from the Biden administration as a result of this leak, and what they could do to prevent both Roe v. Wade from being struck down, and also to prevent similar things from happening in the future, basically to prevent the Supreme Court from doing things that they don't like. And so that kind of gets back into the idea of court packing, which is pretty much what his main point in the article is that it's possible that as a response to this, we could see the Democrats start to ramp up their rhetoric about court packing again. And he said that even though it looks like, it would be a steep hill to climb, especially because Manchin and Sinema are not in favor of ending the filibuster. They're not in favor of codifying Roe v. Wade either. So it would be a tough it would be a tough thing to get rid of the filibuster and then either codify Roe v. Wade or to pack the court, because that would also require the 60 votes from the Senate, which they would have a really hard time getting. So all those things are semi-unlikely, but he said they're at least made a little bit more likely by the fact that instead of just talking about court packing and instead of making a referendum on the Supreme Court, they can make it a referendum on abortion. So they can start saying, we have to pack the court in order to protect our rights, as they call them, which is not a thing. There's no such thing as a right to kill a baby. But they call it a right, and they'll say we need to protect our rights, and therefore we're going to pack the Supreme Court for that reason. And he says that may give them a little bit more of an argument to their base, at least.
I do think there's something to that. Like, I do think there's probably no issue right now that will mobilize their base at all, like abortion will. We have a lot of very passionate pro-life people on our side, but just equally passionate are the pro-abortion coalition, the pro-abortion activists on the left, and the mainstream left-wing voter really is opposed to a lot of the pro-life legislation going on the right now. It does seem to me like obviously at the Western Journal we're a news publication that presents the news to you from a Christian conservative point of view. We are very pro-life over here, every one of us. But it does seem to me like shifting the debate right now to abortion might end up being a losing strategy. It might destroy a lot of the momentum that we've been making in recent months, between all the CRT and gender theory stuff going on in schools, the economy basically getting destroyed by a bunch of, by the Biden administration with inflation and supply chain issues. Everybody is turning on Biden. Everybody is turning on him and his agenda. But now they have a really passionate kind of cause that they can get behind, that Biden can say, all right, we're the party of women's rights and bodily autonomy. If you get behind us, you won't lose your right to an abortion. And I just think that's going to distract. And I hope we can get back to winning over some of, a lot of the Democrats, a lot of the reasonable centrists. Because in the long run, if we do want to, outlaw abortion, if we do want to make more movement in the pro-life arena, we probably just need to get those people on our side first. It's not going to be won by having those huge divisive debates in public, because their positions are solidified.